America is a melting pot of many cultures and ethnicities, and in this video I'm going to show you the different and diverse ethnic groups of America. First, I'm going to show you the indigenous people who have lived on the land for thousands of years, as well as people of European, African, Middle Eastern and Asian and other mixed ancestries who have immigrated to the Americas over the past several centuries. In addition to that, I really need your help, guys, to grow my channel, as I want to cover each and every ethnicity found around the world, together with their cultures and a pinch of history. So your subscriptions mean a lot because it is a motivation to make more content about the things I like to talk about. Thank you very much, and let's go into the video. The indigenous people of the Americas are the various ethnic groups that inhabited the continent of North and South America before the arrival of European explorers and settlers. These groups are diverse and have distinct cultures, languages, and histories. And in North America, some of the major indigenous groups include the Inuit, who live in the Arctic region of Canada and Alaska, the Haida and the Tlingit of the northwestern coast, the Navajo and the Hopi of the southwest, and the Iroquois of the northeast. And in Central America, the Maya civilization was one of the most advanced indigenous culture with a sophisticated system of writing, mathematics, and astronomy. And in South America, there were many advanced indigenous civilizations, including the Inca of Peru, the Aztec in Mexico, the Mapuche in Chile and Argentina, and other significant groups include the Aymara in Bolivia and Peru, the Quechua in Peru and Ecuador, and the Tupi Guarani of Brazil. And sadly, the indigenous people of the Americas faced significant challenges as a result of European colonization, including loss of land, resources, and cultural suppression. It's like the beginning of European exploration. It was like the beginning of the apocalypse of the indigenous way of life. Today, many indigenous communities continue to struggle for recognition of their rights and preservation of their cultures. Despite these challenges, indigenous people have made important contributions to the development of the Americas and continue to have a significant impact on modern society. And it is important to recognize that Native American people are not a monolithic group and encompass many different tribes and cultures, each with their own unique physical features. And some common physical features associated with Native Americans include high cheekbones, a straight or convex profile, a broad and flat nasal bridge, and an epicanthic fold, which is a fold of skin over the inner corner of the eye. And together with that, these people have my full sympathy because, they actually lost the land in which they have full emotional and spiritual connections. And I'm a fan of host cultures, like one of the Plain Indians. As I was growing up watching Western movies, I actually admire their simplicity and the respect they have with their surroundings and animals. When the European explorers first arrived in the Americas, they encountered a vast and diverse landscape inhabited by numerous indigenous people. However, over time, Europeans began to establish permanent settlement and colonies, bringing over their own people to live in the New World. These European settlers come from a range of different countries and backgrounds, and their presence would have a profound impact on the history of the Americas in the modern age. And the first European settlements in the Americas were established by the Spanish in the late 15th and the early 16th century. Spanish explorers led by Christopher Columbus arrived in the Caribbean and later established colonies in Central and South America. The Spanish were interested in establishing colonies for both economic reasons, such as mining for precious metal, and for religious reasons, such as spreading Christianity to the indigenous people. The Spanish brought over soldiers, priests, and settlers to establish these colonies, and their influence can still be seen in many parts of Latin America today. And in the north, the French and English also established colonies in the Americas, primarily what is now Canada and the United States. The French established colonies in what is now Quebec and Louisiana, while the English established colonies along the Atlantic coast, including Virginia, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania. These colonies were established for a variety of reasons, including economic opportunities, religious freedom, and the desire to expand their empires. The settlers who came to these colonies were primarily farmers, traders, and craftsmen, and their influence can still be seen in the culture and tradition of many regions in North America. And the arrival of European settlers in the Americas had a significant impact on the indigenous people who already inhabited the land. Many indigenous communities were forced off their land. Their cultures and traditions were suppressed or destroyed. Europeans brought over diseases that the indigenous people had never encountered before, leading to widespread illness and death. The arrival of Europeans also brought over new technologies and ideas, such as guns and Christianity, which would have a lasting impact on the continent. Despite the negative impact of European colonization of the indigenous people, the presence of European settlers in the Americas also led to the development of new cultures and societies. Many European settlers in Latin America intermarried with the indigenous people, leading to the creation of new cultural identities, such as the mestizo. And Europeans brought over new ideas and technologies that helped to develop new industries and way of life. The presence of European settlers also led to the spread of democracy and individual rights, which would have a lasting impact on the Americas. The presence of black people in the Americas is linked to the history of transatlantic slave trade. For centuries, Europeans transported millions of Africans across the Atlantic Ocean to work as slaves in the Americas. The forced migration of black people and profound impact on the history and cultures of the Americas. The transatlantic slave trade began in the 16th century and continued until the 19th century. During this time, millions of Africans were taken from their homes and transported to the Americas, primarily to work on plantations in the Caribbean and the southern United States. The conditions on slave ships were brutal, with many slaves dying during the journey across the Atlantic. Those who survived were sold at slave markets and forced to work in harsh and degrading conditions. The legacy of slavery is still felt in many parts of the Americas. Black people in the Americas have faced discrimination and inequality for centuries, and their contributions to the development of the continent have often been overlooked. However, black people in the Americas also made significant contributions to the culture and society. Black people in the Americas have played a significant role in the development of music, dance, and literature, and have contributed to the civil rights movement. In the United States, the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s brought attention to the inequalities faced by black people and led to important changes in the law and society. However, the systemic racism and inequality continues to be a major issue facing black people in the United States today. And in countries throughout the Americas, black people have played an important role in shaping the culture and history of the region. For example, in Brazil, black people have made a significant portion of the population and have contributed to the country's vibrant music and dance culture. And in the Caribbean, black people have contributed to the development of unique and diverse cultures, including reggae music in Jamaica and the Carnival celebrations throughout the region. So, the African American community went through a lot through its dark history in the Americas, from slavery to segregation and the Jim Crow to prejudice and systemic racism, and today, the African American community are thriving and living a high quality of life if you compare their community's history. as there are 2,640 black billionaires in North America as compared to just 23 billionaires in Africa. The black community also have a number of successful politicians, athletes, actors, comedians, etc., etc. And the funny thing is that there are some crazy people with some far-left ideology still thinking that the black community in the United States is still oppressed. If you compare to the oppression happening in Africans in the Congo or other underdeveloped countries in Africa and the Caribbeans, and also some developing countries, the black American today is living a highest quality of life if you compare the quality of life of black people around the world. So, the Americas is home to a wide range of different ethnic groups and cultures. One group that is particularly significant in the Americas is mixed people, or people of mixed ethnic heritage. The presence of mixed people in the Americas reflects the complex history and cultural exchange that has taken place in the regions over centuries. And some common types of mixed people in the Americas include Afro-Latinx. These are the people of African and Latin American descent. This can refer to people with African and Spanish or Portuguese ancestry, as well as people of Indigenous and African American ancestry, followed by the mestizos, people of mixed European and Indigenous American ancestry, primarily found in Mexico and Central America, followed by the mulatto, people of mixed African and European ancestry found throughout the Americas. And in the United States and Canada, a lot of mulattoes who has an African American parent actually identifies as black, and in reality they're just mulattoes, which is a reinforcement of a legacy of the 1% drop, which in my opinion it's racist. And followed by the Métis. The Métis people are of mixed European and Indigenous Canadian, same as mestizos but up north. Followed by the Castizos. Castizos are people who are 3/4 Spanish or white and 1/4 Native American, and the feminine form of the word is castiza. And the multiracial are a mixture of all the ethnicities found in North and South America. And lastly, the Zambo. The Zambo are people of mixed African and Indigenous American ancestry, primarily found in South America. And the presence of mixed people in the Americas reflects a complex history and cultural exchange that has taken place in the region over the centuries. Mixed people have played a key role in the development of unique and diverse cultural traditions in the Americas, and have also been in the forefront of movements for social justice and equality. However, mixed people in the Americas have also faced discrimination and challenges, and the struggle for equality and justice continues till today. And it is important to recognize and celebrate the diversity and contributions of mixed people in the Americas. The presence of Middle Eastern people in the Americas is a relatively recent phenomenon and has its roots in the early 20th century. Middle Eastern people in the Americas came from a range of different ethnic and religious backgrounds, and their presence has had a significant impact on the culture and society of the region. Middle Eastern people in the Americas primarily come from countries such as Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, Iran, and Palestine. The first wave of Middle Eastern immigration in the Americas began in the late 19th and early 20th century, when many people from the region migrated to countries such as Brazil and Argentina and the United States. And these immigrants were often seeking economic opportunities or fleeing political instability in their home countries. And in the United States, Middle Eastern immigrants have made significant contributions to American culture and society. For example, Middle Eastern Americans have played a significant role in the development of the country's culinary tradition, with dishes such as hummus, falafel, and tabbouleh becoming popular throughout the country. Middle Eastern Americans also have contributed to the fields of medicine, science, and technology, making important contributions to American society. However, Middle Eastern people in the Americas have also faced discrimination and challenges. In the United States, Middle Eastern Americans have often been subjected to stereotypes and discrimination based on their ethnicity or religion. Since the 9/11 attacks, Middle Eastern Americans have faced increased scrutiny and discrimination, especially in areas like employment, housing, and other areas of life. Despite these challenges, Middle Eastern people in the Americas continue to make important contributions to the region's culture and society. The Asian people in the Americas came from a range of different countries and ethnic backgrounds, and their presence had a significant impact on the culture and society of the region. The first wave of Asian immigrants to the Americas began in the mid-19th century when Chinese immigrants came to the United States to work on the railroads. Together with other industries, Japanese immigrants also began arriving in the United States in the late 19th century, primarily to work in agriculture. And in the early 20th century, immigrants from the Asian countries such as Philippines, Korea, and India began arriving in the Americas as well. Today, Asian people in the Americas, they have made a significant contributions to the culture and society of the region, particularly in some areas of art, cuisine, and technology. For example, Asian Americans have played a significant role in the development of tech industry in the United States and have contributed to the development of innovation technologies and products. Despite their contributions, Asian people in the Americas also have faced discrimination and challenges, and in the United States, Asian Americans have been subjected to stereotypes and discrimination based on their ethnicity or national origin. For example, during World War II, Japanese Americans were forcibly removed from their homes and placed in internment camps, despite many of them being American citizens. And in recent years, Asian Americans have also faced increased discrimination and violence due to the COVID-19 pandemic, with many people being targeted because of their ethnicity. Despite these challenges, Asian people in the Americas continue to make important contributions to the region's culture and society. That's it for today's video, and if you want to know more about the people that I have mentioned, such as Black people, Middle Eastern people, Asian people, I previously made full-length videos talking about their diverse ethnicities. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video till the end. Your support will be much appreciated. Anyways, if you subscribe to my channel, thank you very much. You will never miss out all my latest weekly videos, in which I will be highlighting and talking about different people and cultures. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time.